Hey, good morning, friends. Today is Tuesday, February the 4th, 2025, and the time now is 7:50 a.m. So, friends, I want to talk briefly about the situation in North America. The situation, in this case, the economic war between or among the North American giants, and I'm talking about the United States, Canada, and Mexico. So, friends, this is a new playlist, a new series, and it is titled The Trends and Headlines in North American Society, Culture, and Domestic Politics. Once again, friends, this is a new playlist, a new series, and it is titled The Trends and Headlines in North American Society, Culture, and Domestic Politics. And this is episode 1. Once again, friends, you are watching the new playlist series, The Trends and Headlines in North American Society, Culture, and Domestic Politics, and this is episode 1. So, friends, I want to talk briefly about the tension between the United States, Canada, and Mexico, which, as of now, it is said that the tension has abated or it is in the process of abating. So Donald Trump came to power on the 20th of January this year, 2025. And within the first 4 days, he had signed over 200 executive orders and continues to do so. He signed executive orders even last week. One executive order that Donald Trump signed went into effect about yesterday, okay? And it has basically canceled. Now, friends, Donald Trump, we all know as of now, signed an executive order to impose tariff on China, Mexico, and Canada. So it goes like this: 25% tariff on Mexico, 25% on Canada, and 10% tariff on China. Now, that says a lot. One, it says that China is the United States' largest trading partner of the three, and imposing 25% tariff on China could backfire and it's going to hurt the United States. So the fact that the United States only is levying 10% on China and 25% on Mexico and Canada basically says a lot. It says that Mexico and Canada are less important in terms of the US trade compared to China. Now, friends, the Mexicans and the Canadians were irritated because of what Donald Trump had done. And they too began to agitate and irritate the United States. And they too began to come up with threats and come up with a possible imposition of tariff on the United States of their own. The Canadians also came up with their own scheme to impose 25% tariff on the United States. 25% tariff on the trade with the United States, which could lead to about a trade worth of $100 billion trade, okay, United States trade with Canada to be tariffed. So as of yesterday, it is said that the United States and Canada and Mexico basically came up with an agreement. And as a result, Donald Trump is now halting the 25% tariff on both Canada and Mexico for 1 month. And that within that 1 month, they are going to be coming up with an agreement, with a negotiation. So the Canadians and the Mexicans themselves are halting their tariffs on the United States. Now, as part of the agreement between or among Canada, the United States, and Mexico, the Mexicans and the Canadians are supposed to be imposing, or let's say deploying, military men along their borders with the United States, and that Canada is supposed to be to basically curtail or go after the fentanyl, the drug trade, okay, between the US and Canadian border. Now, that is interesting because it is being projected or portrayed by the Trump administration as a negotiation victory between or among the three countries. Now, It is quite interesting, but my question is, by imposing military or deploying military along the two borders, US Mexico and US Canadian border, is it all about going after immigration and drug lords or the drug industry? Or is it a possible means to try to curb, to try to restrict immigrations from Mexico to the United States and from the United States to Canada? Perhaps it could be the case. Now, friends, as part of the agreement, the countries are agreeing to basically to grade the drug lords or the drug cartels, okay, as terrorists. That is a dangerous thing because the United States is a country that is always at war with terrorists. By declaring the drug lords or the drug cartels as terrorists, are we to see the United States waging massive wars, bombardments throughout the world, within every countries in the world? Because that could be a dangerous thing for the United States domestically and for the rest of the international community. And I am predicting that many innocent people could be impacted. Not only now, the drug cartels themselves are making threats against Donald Trump and the United States, but the United States persistence as well could lead to a whole lot of pain and suffering in the United States, Latin America, Canada, and throughout the world. But my friends, I want to stress that I do feel that Donald Trump's decision to halt the 25% tariff on Mexico and Canada, I do believe it's more of a defeat for Donald Trump than a negotiation victory. I think Donald Trump bit more than he could chew. And the Canadian and the Mexicans, yes, their economies are much smaller than the United States, but all they have to do is make noise as well. Because as much as Donald Trump can talk all the nonsense, the economy in the United States right now is declining. And with the whole imposition of tariff and the retaliation from the Canadians and Mexicans has sent the industry, the economy of the United States into chill. Many people, even Trump supporters, had been, okay, expressing fear and discontent as a result of what Trump has done. And even with the immigration thing, where many farmers in the United States are expressing their fear and discontent about the fact that they are going to be losing their livelihood, okay, or that their business or businesses could decline as a result of them losing their workforce, which has been strongly based on immigration labor or immigrant labor or illegal immigrant labor. Now, in terms of immigration, I do believe that Donald Trump could deport a couple of hundred thousands of people as a means to make himself look good in the eyes and minds and hearts of his supporters. But Donald Trump is not going to touch, okay, the 11 million illegal immigrants or a very significant amount of that group. Because the 11 million illegal immigrants in the United States and their families could sum up a total of at least 20 million. And that is going to drastically diminish, decline, reduce, or possibly destroy the economy of the United States. As much as the Donald Trump group and Republicans can say this and that, immigration, labor, and finance, and money and economics is strongly impactful on the United States economy, finance, economics, infrastructure, and so on. But in terms of the tariff on China, the tariff on China remains. As much and as long as Donald Trump has halted the tariff on Mexico and Canada, the 25% tariff on both countries, Donald Trump continues to go along with the tariff on China. So far, the Chinese are slow moving, but if Donald Trump persists, the Chinese could retaliate. And the trade between China and the United States is much larger, and Donald Trump could crash the US economy. And with the tariff imposition on Mexico and Canada, which the United States has already halted as of yesterday, lots of prices, okay, prices of goods throughout the country immediately increase as a result of the tariff. But I want to see how much and how far Donald Trump is willing to take it. Okay, this tariff nonsense with Canada and Mexico. or China and the United States. However, I do believe what Trump is doing here in terms of him halting the tariff on China and Mexico, I think Trump was looking for an off-ramp because the Canadians and Mexicans making threats or imposing tariff of their own has done nothing but defeated the United States. It is more of a defeat against Donald Trump and the United States than it is a negotiation victory for Donald Trump and the United States. Now, friends, please tell me what you think, and I really want to know what you think. But friends, I am going to end here. I want to thank you for being a member of the Echoing Voice community, but most especially friends, most importantly friends, I want to thank you a lot for watching the Echoing Voice. Peace.